Hey there, everyone. How we doing? Welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. What's tonight? That's right. Tonight is Friday night. We are live. It's Friday night. It is date night with me. Yeah, the Ben Maynard program. Come on, pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with me. Just you and me, okay? How is everyone? I hope you're doing great because I'm feeling really good. So before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. I'm probably talking really loud right now. I just have a feeling. Um, this program, as you know, and if you don't, you should, is available everywhere you find your podcasts. Okay. It's on all of the streaming platforms. Just search the Ben Maynard program and pick your option. All right. Next, if you can't resist this right here and you are watching live tonight on YouTube, thanks for doing that. I just ask you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment because I do read your comments and I do reply to your comments. Okay. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram, simply Ben Maynard Program. So with that, plenty of ways to take in this show for your dancing and your listening pleasure. And with that, it's date night with me, Friday Night Live. Yeah, thanks for doing this, people. How's everyone? It's been, let's see. Well, it's been, I think, 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks because we were not on last week. Nothing live. We didn't record a show. But we'll get into all that in just a minute. All right. Being that it's Friday Night Live, all the same stuff, all the usual fun and frivolity. Okay. We will have the Malort challenge. All right. So you know what that means. You have to call in and engage. If you call in, then I'm going to take a drink of this beautiful stuff right here. Okay. That's what I'm going to do in my Mr. Spock shot glass. Yeah, I know. We went over it a couple months ago. Kathryn, unbeknownst to me, washed it. Well, it hasn't been washed since. Hasn't had a lot of Malort in it, though. Did have a shot of tequila a couple weeks ago when Fernando passed away. But whatever. It's still sitting here in the studio collecting dust or whatever. And we'll play Stump the Chump. Again, you've got to call in and engage. And if you call in, then and you stump me with your music trivia, then I've got to take a shot of Malort. This is not a drinking show. This is not a drunk show, but it is to entice you to call in and participate. All right, sound good? Yeah, sounds good to me anyway. So, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been together, you and I. And what's been going on? Well, let's see. So the reason we had no show last week is because Kathryn and I had 2 weddings to attend to. And the first one was Friday night. It was all the way down in Escondido. So if you're familiar with Southern California and you know where I live, it was about an hour and a half drive. So that was Kathryn's nephew. He was getting married and we were there. It was a beautiful ceremony. Everything was great. The groom was quite handsome. His bride was very beautiful, and everything went off without a hitch. 2 happy people, and it was great. We had a really good time, and being that it was Kathryn's nephew, we got to see a little bit of the family as well. So that was cool. And then Saturday, first thing in the morning, I think we were up at 4 a.m. and I think we got well, let me back up. Friday, the wedding started at 4 p.m. Yeah, it was 4 p.m. So, which was nice because it was quite a distance, and we obviously were going to have to drive home afterwards. So we got home late. It was about 11 o'clock, and then, of course, we had to turn around and pack and be up at 4 to get to the airport because we were flying north to Portland, Oregon to attend another wedding. This was the girlfriend of our daughter, Tess, and Kathryn and I uh, were very thankful that we got to participate and we were invited to the wedding. Again, beautiful wedding. Everything went off great. The groom was handsome. The bride was beautiful. And everything went off without a hitch. It was a ton of fun. We took in some dancing, shaking our tail feathers a little bit. So it was cool. And, um, I have to say, I think some of you might remember that earlier this year, I was in Portland for a couple of weeks. Actually, I was in Portland all of about, I don't know, 20 hours. Yeah. Um, but I worked in Oregon. Let's be more specific. I worked in Oregon for 2 weeks. Started in Portland, went down to Eugene, ended up in Klamath Falls. So I started at the top of the state, ended up at the bottom of the state. Um, but yeah, I did that earlier this year, and it's just gorgeous up there. It's just so beautiful. Just everything's so lush and so green. Um, Certainly, if you know, the Pacific Northwest gets its fair share of rain. And even when it's not raining, it will still sprinkle or mist, you know, just about every day. Even if it's just for a short period of time, it does. So that's why everything was beautiful. So it was great to be up there, to take it in. Oh, it was funny. So we get up there on Saturday. We fly up in the morning, and we get to our hotel. And a great hotel. Oh, yeah, great hotel. And um, it's kind of sprinkling a little bit. It's a little cloudy, and so the wedding is to begin at 3 o'clock. Um, and it's an outdoor wedding. So we're thinking, okay, just crossing your fingers. Okay, hold off, right? No rain, no rain. We get to the venue, which was about 20 minutes from our hotel, so it was nice and close. And great place, um, specifically for weddings. And um, we get to our seats, and on every seat there's a disposable poncho. It basically it's just like a trash bag, but it's a poncho, and so they're to put on if you need it. And most of the folks there put them on. Now it never rained, but it did sprinkle a little bit or drizzle. But you know what? God was looking down upon this beautiful couple because it held off, and they got the ceremony in, and it was a great day for the two of them. So it was just funny to see everybody wearing these ponchos, and they made this terrible rustling. I mean, just anytime someone moved, you could hear them, and so that was kind of funny. If I mean, you kind of had to be there, I suppose, but nonetheless. So we did that on Saturday, and like I said, we got some dancing in, of course. That was a good time. And then we had to come home Sunday, but our flight wasn't leaving until I think it was Sunday around around 5 o'clock. It was somewhere around there. So Kathryn and I, we packed up all our stuff, and we drove into downtown Portland. And what do I say about downtown Portland? The architecture is great. However, yeah, well, if you've been to downtown LA, then you know what I'm talking about. A lot of homeless people. So it was a little bit, well, I should say I felt right at home. How's that? But I found a record store. Wasn't looking for it, but drove past a record store. And let me do this really quick here. I want to change this up because we know 10 minutes into the show, it's now Friday Night Live. So let's post the call-in number. There it is. And so I found this record store, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go in and check it out. I haven't been in a record store in forever. So, and I love my music. So I went in, and Kathryn and I went in, and we're just looking around. Of course, she's a lot less interested than I am. So she's just kind of standing around doing this, and kind of looks like she's holding up the walls. And I just start looking. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I'm just browsing, but I did pick up some stuff. I did. So I thought I would share that with you. How's that? Let's see. I got them right here. I picked up 5 items. I think it's 5. Yeah, 5. Okay. All right. I can't see a darn thing, right? You do know that. You do see that I'm wearing aviators in the studio. Okay. And it's dark. So I'm going to take these off now because I'm about ready to read. But you also see that I'm wearing my flight suit. And we're going to get into why. We're going to get into why I'm wearing this flight suit in just a little bit. Okay. So let me put these spectacles on here. So yeah, I was just kind of browsing and checking stuff out. And it's the record store is both new and used. So I picked this one up. This is Boston. And this was their 4th release from 1994, Walk On. This was the first studio release to not feature Brad Delp on lead vocals. This was, I think, Fran Cosmo? Yeah. And I don't think I'm familiar with any of the material on this. That's why I picked it up. Because I'm familiar with the album, but I'm not familiar with the material on it. So I thought, what the heck? I mean, it cost me $5. So I thought I would pick it up. I can't really. I mean, I guess I can. I've got my CD player out in my loft, so I guess I could play it if I wanted to. But I got to give this a listen. All right, so then I was looking in this one section, and I picked this up here. The Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed. Yeah. I don't own this one. I don't own it on vinyl. I don't own it on CD because that's why I bought it. I do dig the Stones. And you know what's funny is I picked up, like I said, I picked up 4 CDs, and 2 of them were brand new, and I didn't even know it. I thought they were all used. That's how much I was paying attention. Yeah, this one still has the wrapper on it. I haven't even had a chance to look at it because we got home Sunday evening. By the time we got home from the airport, I think it was somewhere around 8:00, and I had to get up at 1:30 to be at work at 3. So it wasn't like I was going to start looking through my music. And it's been a busy week, as Monday through Friday usually is when I'm working. So if you're familiar with Let It Bleed, then you are familiar with it. If not, then we'll go down the track list. It's the title track, Let It Bleed, Love in Vain, Midnight Rambler, Gimme Shelter. Oh, man, what a song. Oh, what a song. You Got the Silver. You Can't Always Get What You Want, right? Another just classic song. Uh, just an all-time classic. Live With Me, Monkey Man. Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one. And Country Honk. So I can't wait to listen to this one because I've never owned it. So can't wait to check that out. I'll be honest with you. I dig the Stones. However, if anyone's familiar with the Stones, of course they've been releasing music since like 1964. So it was 60 years, and they've been together longer than that. So they're older than you and me together. Um, they have a lot of material. They have released a lot of music over those 60 years. So um, I don't go deep. I am familiar with some of the deep tracks. Obviously, everyone's familiar with the hits, but I do dig the Stones. So I can't wait to check that one out. Then I picked this one up. The Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers. Yeah. And if you are my age or older, then you would remember on the album, or the album version of this, I should say, the original album version, that zipper right there on the jeans, if you can see that, I'm trying to get it out of the light. I could zoom the camera in, but then I got to zoom it back out. I don't want to mess with stuff. Not just yet. But there's a zipper right on those jeans. On the album, that was a real zipper that went up and down. That was really cool. It actually worked. And then there were later releases uh, that it was just looked like that. It was just photographed. There was no real zipper on the album cover. So I would imagine, and I'm not a record collector. I certainly have some vinyl, but it's not like I collect it uh, to buy, sell, or trade or anything like that. But I can imagine that if you have that album cover with the working zipper and it's in good shape, I imagine you get some good money for it. So the next thing I picked up, you can tell I was in the Rolling Stones section, right? Yes. Tattoo You from 1981. And of course, that one's got the blowout hit, and a great one, especially playing it at a sporting event, things like that. Start Me Up, Hang Fire, another great song. Slave, Little TNA, Black Limousine, Neighbors, Worried About You, Tops, Heaven. Hang on. Tops, Heaven. There we go. And let's see, No Use in Crying, and the last track, which I think is such a cool song, and that's Waiting on a Friend. Yeah, that is a really, really cool song. And I did not previously own this on vinyl or CD. So yeah. So hang on. Hang on. Somebody's left a comment. Let's see. Who is that? I gotta take these glasses off to see. I just joined, so I'm not sure if you mentioned if you have the original Some Girls album cover. I'm reading it from far away, Debbie, with Farrah Fawcett and other celebs. You know what? I don't, Deb. I don't have Some Girls. Don't have that one. But yeah, that one's got a lot of classic tunes on it as well. And then also the one that came after that, I think the one that came after that was Emotional Rescue, which of course the title track on that is my all-time favorite Stones song. Just my absolute all-time favorite Stones song. So good. So good. Yeah. So yeah, never owned Tattoo You. So I want to get into it. I want to get into this stuff here. But last but not least, what I picked up, and I was so jazzed when I saw this. You know, if you've been a listener to this or a watcher of this podcast for any amount of time, you know that I absolutely love this band right here, Angel. And this is their, I think it was their fourth album or fifth. Let me see. There was the debut album. Then there was Hell of a Band. Then there was, let me see what year. I think this was 70. What year was this one? Doesn't say on the back. I think it's 77. I think it's 77. Let's look. I don't know. I do. I think it's 77 because I think this one was the third. And then I think it was, what was the one? On Earth as It Is in Heaven. I think that one came afterwards. And it could be reversed. I don't know. Sometimes my timeline gets messed up. Usually I'm like spot on, but sometimes it gets messed up. But what a cool cover. And of course, they've got just an awesome logo. There's a certain name for that too. I'm trying to get myself in here and the logo. But there's a certain name for that. I can't recall what it is, where if you turn a word upside down, it's exactly the same as it is right side up. But really cool album cover. And you guys know how much I love this band. Love them so much. There's a nice picture of the band on the inside sleeve with some credits there, special thanks, all that good stuff. And then individual pictures right there on the back side. I mean, on the flip side of that album cover or the inner sleeve. So really cool stuff. I had to get it. I had to get it. It was just, like I said, I love this band, and it cost me a whole $2.90. Yes, I may never play it since I don't own a working turntable, but we'll see. We'll see. So that was our weekend last week. Let me hydrate a little bit here, okay? Okay, much better. Yeah, so that was our weekend last week, and it was a ton of fun. We had a good time, little hit and run to Portland. So then, of course, we come back home, and what? Let me see. Something else happened this week. What was it? Oh yeah, it was election day on Tuesday. That's right. We elected a new president, and I'm smiling a little bit bigger today because uh, we reelected President Trump. So I'm happy about that. And I'm really looking forward to the next 4 years. And I'm just going to leave it at that. We don't need to go deep into this stuff. Not today. We're just here having some fun. But yeah, it was election day, new president coming up in January. So good stuff. And there you go. So, what is going on this weekend? What does that say right there? Oh wait, hang on. Debbie has given me the word. It's, let's see, ambigram. Okay, thank you, Deb. Man, you're awesome. I appreciate that. It almost deserves a shot of Malort. Almost. But you're supposed to call in. So I thank you for that. That's great, Deb. Um, so Monday is the 11th, and it is Veterans Day. And if you haven't heard me mention it before, I love our veterans. And we've got a couple of things coming up this weekend. That's why I'm wearing my flight suit right here. Just to kind of celebrate our veterans. Tomorrow morning, I'm recording a show with a former Vietnam veteran, and we'll get into that. His name is Ronnie Geyer. So just be watching for that. Okay. It's going to be a great show. It really, really is. And then Sunday afternoon, I'm going to record a show with a gentleman named Larry Reedy. I may have mentioned him before. I think I mentioned Ronnie before too. But a past guest on the program here, if everybody remembers Pepper Ann, she's an author. She put the two of us in touch. And she like sent me an email. She says, "Hey, you should reach out to this guy here. I think he'd be great for your show. He has a podcast, blah, blah, blah." So I reached out to Larry and we talked, and he's a great guy, and we're going to do it. We've got it going on. Let's see, someone's calling here. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Hang on. Let's get this going here. What do we got? And speaker. There we go. Hello.
I'm here.
Oh, hi, Deb.
First of all, I love your Top Gun shirt. I just love it.
Oh, no, this ain't a shirt. Wait, hang on a sec. I'm going to stand up for the camera. This is the whole flight suit.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, no, this is the whole kit and caboodle. See, I got my patches. I'm a U.S. naval aviator. Got my, yeah, that's right. I got my call sign, Iceman, right there. No, this is the whole thing. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so good stuff. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. And thanks for the help on Angel's logo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anagram.
Are
That's the word of the day.
Yeah.
I would tell you
Yeah.
was that I caught the episode where you mentioned about your union, about like 3/4 of you had said you wanted to support Trump.
Yes.
And only like a quarter wanted Kamala, and then they said they weren't going to support anybody.
Yes.
Well, a few days later, I received, I'm in a union as well.
Yep.
And I got, the newsletter from my union, and it said we were supporting Kamala, and it made me sick. I said, oh my God.
You said you might, but I'm not, right?
Not me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so I was so happy when Trump won. I was like, yes.
Well, Debbie, you must, according to the mainstream media, you're not a very educated woman because you didn't vote for Kamala.
Oh my God. I saw so many, like clips of her on YouTube and stuff. And it was like, she was so stupid. Anytime they would ask her about the economy, which that's what everybody's main concern was. It's like, even Walmart has high prices. And Walmart's not trying to gouge, doing price gouging or whatever.
Yep.
They always try to have the lowest prices available, right?
Sure.
Offered.
Yeah.
And anytime they would ask her about the economy, she would always start with, well, I was raised in a middle class family.
Oh my gosh.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China, I mean, she was just like, she is such a dumb, I called her dum-dum. That's my
Okay, Debbie.
Her call sign.
It's her call sign. Look, you brought it up. I didn't bring it up, but you know what? Though it's exactly what you were talking about, and I was thinking the same thing. I always thought the same thing every time she opened up her mouth. But like I started to tell the audience here, it's Veterans Day on Monday, and for me and the podcast, this is Veterans Day weekend. We're starting to celebrate our veterans tonight, and we'll carry it all the way through Sunday. And those shows will be up by Sunday late afternoon, and everybody will be able to watch them. I've got some photographs here, and it just reminds me. By the way, folks, this is my sister-in-law, Deb. Okay, and hi. And you know something? She's, she's called a dummy. She's called a non-educated woman for not voting for Kamala. But I have to tell you, she's actually very highly educated. So where all this information comes from, I have no idea. But I'll leave it at that for now. You know what I should have thought of, Debbie, and I didn't? I should have thought to ask you for a picture of Pops. If there's any military pictures of Pops available, because as I'm thinking about it right now, I've got some photographs here. I'm going to show the audience here, but just so I can let everybody know, my father-in-law Marcelo was a Korean War veteran, and he passed away a couple of years back. But he was a Korean War veteran, and he was.
No. I have to correct you there.
Wait.
He did not fight in Korea. He missed the like when he left the service.
Yes.
The war started after that.
Okay. So he served.
But he was a Marine.
Yes.
So
he served between World War II and the Korean War then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. He still served, and that's, he was very, very, very proud of his service. That's for darn sure.
He sure was.
He really was. Yeah.
That's why we had his ashes over at the cemetery. What's the
Arlington Cemetery? Yeah, he's at the Arlington Cemetery in Riverside. Yes, and we had when he passed, and I'm looking right here at the audience. When he passed, we had a really nice, or I shouldn't say we did. He received a really nice military funeral, and it was
beautiful.
It was beautiful. Color Guard did just an absolute fabulous job. It was something to see. That was nice.
It was so touching, and it makes me so proud that we, as America, honor our veterans this way.
Yes.
And even like say, I remember I would go with my dad over to Home Depot, and they would say, "Are you a veteran?" And he would always pull out his card showing that he was a veteran, and they'd give him a discount.
Yeah, always get his 10% discount.
Yeah.
That's right.
We went to the Renaissance Fair. Oh, he was a veteran. A discount.
There you go.
He had his card showing that he was a veteran.
Well,
he didn't fight. He would have, had there been war going on.
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt. So,
our grandpa, my mom's dad, my grandpa Mike, he was in the Air Force.
Okay.
In World War II.
Gotcha.
And we had his flag in the the triangle box.
Oh yeah, and well, that means your mother's got two flags.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And he was actually in the Air Force, and he was a gunner.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
that's
military.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Military cops.
As I know, we are. We're all. That's the great thing about. That's the great thing about both of our families. We've got a lot of law enforcement, first responders, and we have a lot of military, former military, veterans. So I know it's just great. It's great stuff. And to be honest, Deb, and I know you'll agree, one day's not enough. We need a month to celebrate our veterans.
You know what? Yeah. Yes. If anybody deserves a month, a whole group of people that deserve a month, it's our veterans.
There you go.
They come from every single generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like family members.
Yeah.
In whatever age group you're in. Then, every generation, so it's not just like one little clique of people. No, it's like a whole,
it is
generational,
And whether you saw combat or not as a veteran, you still were separated from your family.
Yeah. And you could have seen combat if need be.
Sure, absolutely.
But like in my dad's case, well, they just didn't happen to have a war going on.
Thank God for that. Yeah. Well, Deb, we're going to carry on with the show, but before, I want you to see I've poured the shot of Malort because you called in to participate. So, a deal's a deal.
Drink.
And you know what, though? You know what I'm going to do? When I'm done with this one, I'm also going to take a shot for Marcelo. I'm going to knock one back for him, okay?
That's the best.
All right.
You take care.
Thanks for calling, all right? We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye now. There she goes. That's my sister-in-law, Debbie. All right. So this one is to Debbie for calling and participating. So cheers. Oh, that is nasty. But a deal's a deal. I should have, I had that bottle of tequila up here, that bottle of Sin Rival that I had when I toasted Fernando Valenzuela a couple weeks back. Should have left it here in the studio. Because Marcelo deserves something good, not nastiness like this stuff here. And I don't know if you can tell when I was opening it up, but I had to crack the seal on it. This is a brand new bottle, or I shouldn't say brand new, but an unopened bottle. So to my father-in-law, Marcelo, who served proudly and was very proud, wore his veteran's hat all the time. Cheers to you, Marcelo. Oh, that's bad. So, so before we go on with the veteran stuff, opening this bottle made me think. Don't know if I mentioned it. So if I did and you were around when I mentioned it, I apologize. But what was it 3 weeks ago? I believe it was. We were at, or was it 2 weeks ago? What? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. We were at funeral services for another friend, another school mate, Richard Luna, who, if you've paid attention to this podcast at all, was the best friend of my dear friend, Eddie Sanchez, who also passed away. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when we were at Richard's funeral, just like Eddie's, it was like half of it was, I felt like I was back in high school. So it was beautiful to see. It was great to see the former whatever. They're always going to be classmates, but it was great to see them there. And one of them walked up to me. His name is Dean. So if you're watching, Dino, what's up? But actually, I don't think he is, and I'll tell you why. He comes up to me at the reception afterwards, and he says, "Oh, hey, man, when are you gonna go live again? Because I gotta call in. I got to make you drink that nasty stuff." He couldn't remember the name. And I clued him in on the name. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna make you drink that." And so I thought, Dean, you watch the podcast? Yeah, I watch it all the time, but every time you go live, I'm out of town. so maybe Dino is missing out. I'm not sure, but if you're not missing out, Dino, right on. I'll expect your phone call. If you are missing out on the live stream, sorry. Next time. All right. So anyway, we were talking about veterans, and I mentioned, in my conversation with Debbie there, that both of our families have a lot of law enforcement, first responders, and former military. Well, I have some pictures here, And if you watch the next two shows with Ronnie and Larry, yeah, you might see these pictures again too. Who knows? But I just wanted to show you these because it's really cool. This one is my mother's biological father, whose name is Donald, was Donald. He served in the Army and during World War II, and he was an MP. And he died during while in service. It was an automobile accident. My mother had explained to me it was. I can't remember if it was like in Pennsylvania or something like that, but he was out and it was bad weather, and his military vehicle was struck by a tanker truck. So you can imagine that probably wasn't real pretty. So he died just before my mother was born. Yeah. So when my grandmother remarried, she married this gentleman right here. And that's my mom's stepdad who served in the Navy. Yeah. So we've got some Army, we've got some Navy. Um, and then when Brother Jim took a trip back to West Virginia to see some family on our dad's side, he got some pictures and he brought them back. And so I had some copies made. And so it might be tough to see, but I'm going to do the best I can. Let's see. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit because this one's a smaller one because I tried to blow it up to 8 by 10 and it just came out nasty. So let's see if you can kind of see that. I think that's about as far as we're going to get in. So that's that one there. That's my dad in the Navy. Those are his blues. I could probably back up a little bit now. Or maybe I should stay here. Let's stay here for now. Then there he is again. And you can see right above his head, it says Huntington, West Virginia. Yeah. So interesting there. I think he was like 170 pounds. And then here is the last one that I have. Whoops, let's try to not get the glare off of that. Should have got these matte finish and not, whoops, and not gloss finish, but whatever. If you can see that, then you can see it. Yeah. So I just thought I would share those. As we celebrate our veterans, let's go one more. Whoops. There we go. Let's do that. That way I'm bigger in the frame. Yeah, I just wanted to show those as we celebrate our veterans this weekend. So just all good stuff. Now, you know what I'd really like to do is, you know what? Do I have it on here? I don't know if I have it on here. Let's see. No, I'm looking at my banners. No, I don't. Huh. Let's see if we can create one right now. Let's see. Where's my keyboard? Here's my keyboard. I'm going to put this up right now. So a pause for the cause, okay? It's probably going to get quiet for a second, all right? Let's see. Email the show. Boom. Right? Oh, okay. Email the show. Let's take caps lock off and let's space it out a little bit and let's put the email address. Yeah. At, where's my at? Where's my at? There it is. I think that's it. Let's do it. Let's see if that works. Add banner. And let's show it. Woo! All right. Let's hide this one. Email the show, play blocker Dale. Yeah, good. All right. Let's hide this one. Okay, that's a big old banner right there, but that's good. That's good. Stands out. Stands out. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to try to do an all email show. So if you guys just participate a little bit, it'd be fun. You can send your emails. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it's about. Ask your questions, whatever it might be. And I'll read through them, talk about them, all that good stuff. So if I can get you, my wonderful audience, to participate in on this one, there's the email address. Just email your stuff. And we may not do it in the next week. I want to get a collection of emails first. Okay, I want to get at least 10 or 12 uh, to go over. And yeah, let's just have some fun. How's that? Okay, so let's try an all email show. All right, I think we could have a good time with it. What else is going on? Let's see. Well, we've got, like I said, we've got the two shows, the two veterans shows coming up tomorrow. And let's go back here. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Tomorrow and on Sunday. Oh wait, say it. Wait, hang on. Oh yeah. Thanks for that reminder. So the email address, that's right, because not everybody is watching. Some people will listen. The email address is PL, the number 8, the word blocker, BLOCKER at AOL.com. So it reads plate blocker at AOL.com. Plate blocker at AOL.com. Okay? So just send your emails to plateblocker at AOL.com. And I check my junk mail. So if something happens to go into the junk mail, I'll retrieve it. I usually check the junk every couple of days, so I don't let it pile up too much. Yeah, so we'll have some fun. Thanks for that, Deb. I don't sometimes I don't remember that there's a listening side to this. Not everybody watches. So yeah, so we'll have some fun with that. Like I said, I'll wait till I collect a good dozen of them first, and then we'll go from there. So you all are gonna have to get on it. You're gonna have to get on it. Let's make it happen. So what's coming up besides our two veterans this weekend? Let's see. The following Friday, that's the 15th, I believe it is. So I don't think there's anything. Oh, yeah, there's something happening on the 16th. Yes, it's awesome. I'm going to see Kathryn and I. We're going to the Whiskey A Go Go in West Hollywood to see one of my favorites, Aldo Nova. Yeah, we got tickets for that show. I may have mentioned previously, he is, I think the night before, he's in Vegas at the Golden Nugget, which is where we saw him last year. But there was no local show here in SoCal afterwards. So we didn't have a choice but to go to Vegas. And it was a great venue. Loved it. It was a great venue, and it was just a great show. And it was nice staying in the same hotel as the show, too. All I had to do was take the elevator down. But we were going to travel to Vegas again to do that. But then we saw that this show popped up on a Saturday, which certainly works because then I don't have to worry about either getting off of work early or just taking the day off. So we're going to West Hollywood to see Aldo Nova at the Whiskey. Yeah, can't wait for that. It's going to be great. And then the following weekend, that is, I believe, the 23rd, got a couple of shows coming up that weekend also. And I want to say both are authors, but there's a little more to it than that. So just stay tuned. Just stay tuned to it. All right. It's great when people reach out and show an interest in wanting to be on the podcast. And that's what happened in both of these instances. They reached out to me via email, and asked if I would be interested in having them on the show. So, of course, they kind of explained their story a little bit. And of course, I'm interested. That's what this show is all about. It's about people telling their stories. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I will say this. Um, one of the shows will feature two young ladies from Alberta. Yes, Alberta, Canada. And then the other one, let me see here. Hold on, time out really quick. I'm reaching down onto my printer here. I think, let me see. It doesn't say. But the second guest is from, I think he's from like Oklahoma or Nebraska or something like that. It's from the middle of the country. So it's great. It's great. I ask these people, oh, hey, how did you hear about my podcast? And, they'll say, oh, well, a friend turned me on to it and, stuff like that. So it's just by chance and it's great. I love it. And I know that these are going to be really, really good shows as well. So they're coming up towards the back half of the month or back end of the month. So that's what we got coming up in the next couple of weeks. Good stuff. You want to stick around for it. You're going to want to be here. Stay tuned. Stay plugged into the podcast. Okay. And I think that's it. And you never know when Friday Night Live is going to pop up. It's just, I myself, I don't know until generally the day before. And so I just, I'll tell Kathryn, oh, by the way, I'm going to live stream tomorrow. And then we just go from there, put out the Facebook notification and so on and so on. So anyway, that's where we are. That's what's going on. We'll call it for now, okay? Because I need to get my beauty sleep. I've got guests the next 2 days, so I've got to take care of business, all right? So with that, as you know, this program is available everywhere podcasts are available. All the streaming platforms, okay? Just search the Ben Maynard program and just, choose your option. You're going to have many of them to choose from. Still trying to crack the top 25 podcasts on Podchaser. Yeah, not sure. It's going to take a few more few more subscribers and a few more listeners and downloads and all that stuff. So let's go, people. But if you're watching on YouTube, and you probably are if you're watching live here on Friday Night Live, then thanks for that. Just please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment, okay? And then again, last but not least, follow me on Instagram, simply Ben Maynard Program. With that, we are out. Thanks for being here tonight. Just have a great rest of your evening, okay? Thanks for enjoying date night with me, Ben Maynard. And with that, this is the Ben Maynard Program. Tell a friend.